me, which is ridiculous. The Arcane Tower is in a perfect spot right now to really beat the crap out of my bears. He's about to get this bear kill, but I staff it because I'm Gosu. So, I have a whole bunch of weak dryads. I shouldn't really be pushing anymore, but I kind of wanted to get this Altar of Kings dead. I do notice he has a mortar team out front. And also another thing to point out about his base build, he has little areas in which he can run units in and out from the sides. So basically he has mobility in his base. And the one thing about Night Elf is you really want to be, like, especially against human, you want to be fighting in open areas because of how your army is composed. You'll have a lot of melee with you near the end of the game, especially with your massive amounts of bears. Now I go for the hero kill. This is kind of stupid because he kind of blocks himself, but I still get the kill, which is great. But anyways, as a human, you always want to be fighting with a choke point, because that way you can use your water elementals as, like, you know, a tank and stuff. And this way, you don't really have to rely as much on your breakers to tank against, you know, the Night Elf spares as much. Here's where I kind of get smart and I kind of decide maybe I should set up an expo as opposed to trying to push his base. Anyways, as I was saying, oh, I push his base again. Go me. Yeah, so back to what I was saying. A human player has a whole bunch of casters, and really they want to protect those casters as much as possible. Which is why, you know, they always fight at the choke points. That way you can't actually get in around to their casters. And I tried to make a little nice, you know, mouse movement on the screen, which didn't work. But yeah, you kind of want to go around to focus the casters, which is why as a Night Elf player you want to force a battle out in the open. This way your Dryads can't be slowed anyways, they can't even be bolted. You can just run them around to the back lines and really focus the crap out of their casters and stuff. So I focus down the altar. I kind of just want to make sure that he doesn't get his other hero out. I am kind of leaving my Dryads out to be killed, which is kind of bad. I do hit level 6 though, which is fantastic. Even though I don't have any mana. I would also like to point out that I have, like, a whole bunch of weak Dryads that I've microed with, and a bear, which have, like, the combined health of, like, 100 or something, which is ridiculous. That's good micro right there. And, okay, here's another thing I'm going to point out as Night Elf. If you're going to micro, just send them all the way back to your base. You're going to end up there anyways if you're losing the battle that badly to actually have to micro things back instead of using your staff. So you might as well just send them to your base. Let them chill. Let them heal up at the Moonwells. You know, stuff like that. I don't have a shop. This is kind of bad for me. I also have really randomly placed Moonwells. I think it's because I was in the middle of trying to micro, so I just kind of go back to my base and BM, click. I hope it went in the right spot. So my ridiculous ass goes back into harass again, I believe. Don't do this. If you have this kind of advantage where, you know, they're sitting in their base worrying about you attacking them again, set up an expo. If you have this he doesn't even have a TP. Okay, that's how much of an advantage I have. The one thing that I do get is a nice, you know, water elemental kill. And the one thing that I do is I use an abolish as opposed to trying to attack it. Because Abolish kind of has more range, and it's a lot more instantaneous than trying to time when they throw the arrow, especially with kind of, you know, battle net lag. So it's kind of hard to do. Point of retardedness, I am getting a glaive thrower. Glaive throwers are decent, but the way that Night Elf micros, and with this army composition, the fact that you're trying to get stuff into their back lines anyways, you really don't want to be using a glaive thrower as part of your army. The only reason I do get one is because he's really hiding behind his stupid farms and stuff, and I really wanted to get him out of there. So a glaive throw is great leverage. They're kind of expensive, and they kind of suck, but, you know, I guess they're siege. So there is something to be said about them. Or some good thing. Also, they have that stupid bouncing attack, which is great. I love that. So I'm going to be doing some more creeping here, which is, this is the exciting part of the replay, really. Now, this expansion point, I really just use it because it was close, and I really just wanted to creep it. I sell my Cloak of Shadows, always a good thing to do if you're a Night Elf, unless you have a Demon Hunter. And I really just wanted a TP, so I sold everything else, too. I figure keep the staff and the boots, because those are actually handy. I really didn't care about the stupid other items. So I continue to creep. Creeping really doesn't do anything for me, except it gives me the ability to use the Fountain of Health, you know, during the day, as opposed to trying to put them right next to the trees and hope they don't get attacked by the creeps. So yeah, since this is kind of the slow part of the replay, I'm going to commentate on a movie. Okay, on the weekend, or like a couple days ago, I watched the worst movie in the entire freaking world. Okay, here's how it went down though. I was at a friend's house, and it was a girl, and I was with my buddy, and I guess her friend, who was kind of hot. And they were like, hey, we should watch a movie. I'm like, hey, no, you have abysmal taste in movies. So we ended up watching TV, and unfortunately, she has that stupid satellite TV thing, so you can watch movies also. And they were channel surfing, and there comes to this little musical scene or something ridiculous. And then we hear, oh my god, I love this movie. So me and my brother look at each other horrified. We're like, oh shit, we have to find some way out of this. Turns out the movie's Rent, and they have some estrogenical power over the remote control or something. I guess it was their, I don't know, bodily formations or their anatomy that kind of persuade us to not be jackasses about it. Oh, by the way, I'm assaulting his base. He's setting up an expo, which is why I wondered where he was. But yeah, so we're sitting there. We didn't know it was Rent until, like, it went to the stupid commercials, and it was like, we'll be back to the movie Rent. And I was like, oh my god. Oh, sorry. He TPs. He didn't actually end up creeping. And this is probably the worst battle I have ever fought in my entire life. Really, don't fight a battle against all of his frickin' militia. If you can avoid this kind of rape, please do. There was nothing I could do. Like, my positioning is horrible. I have bears in random areas. I have my dryads running around with their heads cut off. I'm surprised I didn't TP earlier. I mean, I guess I do get a hero kill, but really not worth it. Oh, I don't even get the paladin kill. So yeah, anyways, we started watching Rent. I actually went home halfway through the movie, but here's an example of what Rent is. Doot 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 doot. Hey Bill. Doot 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 doot. Hey Sally. Doot 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 doot. I'm a hermaphrodite. Da-na-na-na. I'm gay and I have AIDS. I have nothing against gay people. It's just that was the motif of the entire movie. I swear to God, I wanted to kill myself. Anywho, after the worst battle of my entire life, he has a significant advantage of 55 food over my 39. The one thing that I do have is the Avatar of Vengeance, which is what I use to my advantage. The only thing I did get out of that battle is a bunch of footmen or peasant kills there, which is kind of good, so he can't really expo as easily because he won't have as much wood, and this way I render his mortar teams a little less useful. So my stupid ass goes back in to try and finish off the battle I just butchered there. I figured he was TPing from a long ways away, so I figured he might end up going back there or something. I didn't suspect he was putting up an expo. But yeah, I head back into his base. I finish off a couple farms. I figure farms, they're nice easy kills, you know. Might as well get rid of them if you can. Especially because they're, 500 HP. Why waste the ability to kill those things really fast? Some people comment me on the fact that I kill a lot of farms as opposed to going for other buildings. Well, farms are actually useful. Anywho, he goes after my Tree of Life, and this is